Welcome everyone. We are back with the AVGL Collegiate Dota 2 series. We are now into game 2 of Appstate versus NYU. I am Padilla. I'm joined here by Pythian. So, what did you think of the first game?
Slock had his way with you.
Indeed, he did. He had his way with NYU.
Yeah, he made sure his ship was nice and sharp there. And I pretty much took it to all of NYU, pretty much just going for whoever was right in front of him and taking kills left and right. It's pretty ridiculous.
Much like we predicted, like in the draft phase, it was really just, App State running at NYU and creating space for Slark, who at top lane was able to even get pickoffs despite being in a solo off lane. So, he got way ahead of the other enemy carry, and he had his way.
It's pretty clear with how Appstate want to play this. Like, they really want to play behind their carry player Zoro and just make sure he has a good start, make sure he has A star. In the last game, like, they hardly had to worry about him. He was basically solo against a clockwork top and managed to dominate that lane, allowing the Spirit Breaker and the Abaddon to focus on bottom and basically let Slark to do his own thing. So it was hardly even making sure that the Slark had a good lane. It's just making sure that they didn't screw everything else up.
Yeah, exactly. And just a reminder to all of our viewers out there, we are giving away a genuine golden huntling, a courier that's worth at least $100, I believe, on the market right now. If we can somehow get to 100 viewers, we'll give it away to the one lucky viewer who submits his name for the giveaway. So get all your friends and, get onto our Twitch channel and see if you can win yourself basically $100.
Basically $100.
It looks like we're going to be getting into game in just a second now. This is going to be game 2 of App State versus NYU. And now we are getting into the first ban phase, and it's going to be App State starting out with the first ban, first pick on the Dire side. So what do you expect for this ban phase? Is it going to be similar to last games, or are they going to start switching things up a little bit?
I think my main question for this is how early they're going to ban out the Slark. Like, are you going to ban it out first phase, or do you think that you can counter it after that first match?
Looking at the first couple bans, it's going to be easy meta heroes, Invoker, OD being the first bans, but it looks like App State going for a little bit of a respect ban with the Vengeful Spirit. Do you feel like she was that much of a factor last game that she's worth a ban this game?
It did disrupt some of the fights and make Slark have to work a little bit harder, and by work a little harder, I mean just hit the person in front of him for the kills. But I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to play against a hero, and they realize how high of a skill that player had on the Venge, and they just don't want to have to worry about it this match.
Yeah, it is possible that this hero, the player is really proficient on the Venge. It was just not a very good game, not a very good start for them. So yeah, it makes sense why they would get rid of that. Dazzle, going to be the next ban for Radiant, and now it is on App State for their first pick. Any thoughts on what's going to be their lineup this time? Do you think they'll go for the same run at the enemy team and kill them, or are they going to go for more of a farm-centered lineup?
I think we're going to see the supports come out early once again for App State. I don't think that they'll go for the same thing. I think they might go for a lineup that kind of sits back a little bit. They do have the one-game advantage in this match so far. So I think that they're probably going to sit back a little bit more.
Undying and Tusk going to be the first 2 picks. So App State playing a little bit defensive, like not allowing NYU to run at them, which is kind of surprising why they would go with a Tusk pick, especially with an Undying picked up. Tusk running in or snowballing into an Undying tomb usually spells out his death. But now Death Prophet going to be the next pick for NYU. So that's going to be the mid laner already shown for NYU. Does this reveal anything about their draft or their strategy?
I I think Death Prophet is just a fairly strong mid laner. It doesn't. I mean, it says you're gonna go push. It's pretty easy,
Yeah,
but I don't think that the Death Prophet is necessarily like a giveaway pick here. Like you still have a long draft to go, and you can still do a lot of things around the Death Prophet. Kind of go for a bit of a hybrid strat.
I see. It is now an app state. So you said that they're probably going to pick up their two supports early. I feel like they probably should pick up another support here, maybe someone that can control, excuse me, Death Prophet. What do you think about a Rubik pick?
Um, I do like Rubik here. It can be a little bit difficult to get the exorcism stolen.
Hmm.
I,
Now,
I'm just gonna go
Earthshaker.
with no. I'm gonna go with no on the Rubik.
Yeah, probably not, as they reveal the Earthshaker. So I would assume it's going to be Undying Earthshaker lane, unless they do duos again, which is definitely possible with Undying. So Earthshaker pretty good against Tusk. I mean, be snowballing into your enemy carry. Earthshaker can disrupt him multiple times. So a solid pick. It's now an app state. They're going to be going into their next ban phase. So mid laner and support have been chosen for NYU, while two supports have been chosen for App State. So it looks like App State will probably want to ban out maybe another really strong support or some stronger cores. I would say maybe even the Juggernaut.
They could probably ban out the Juggernaut, but I think that they're just kind of trying to do something other than that. No, no. I mean, I don't think that they should be scared of the Juggernaut at all. It's a pretty standard hero and I think fairly easy to counter in most drafts. And the Earthshaker can be pretty good at that, especially if the Juggernaut is not spending by the time the initiation comes through.
It looks like instead they will go for the Spectre ban. So banning out one of the stronger cores of this patch, one of the harder to control ones, and NYU getting rid of the Jakiro. Jakiro making a huge difference in that last game for App State. I mean, you saw how well he pushed and how well he team fought.
Yeah, Jakiro is like my favorite hero ever, except for Ursa. Ursa's a little bit more favorite than Jakiro, but no, I just love the hero. It's so strong. Like I used to not play him so much before the Liquid Fire was just an auto cast spell,
Hmm.
but ever since they changed that to a unit target or a point target, unit target, like I just love the hero and he's so good. Like the cooldown on Liquid Fire is ridiculous. You have easy initiations with anybody on your team getting a Yules, and I just love the hero.
Yeah, he
Maybe
has
not the
one of.
best ban, but
I mean, App State definitely show that they have proficiency with Jakiro, and I mean, Jakiro has strong push. He has one of the actually biggest damage over time nukes in the game with his dual breath. Tons of damage. And now the Queen of Pain and AA are going to be the next two picks. Ancient Apparition, I guess, either going to counter something in their draft or possibly counter the Undying. I'm not sure why they banned that out. Queen of Pain for the Respect ban coming out from NYU. They saw what App State's Queen of Pain was able to do early, and they're not going to let him have it again. So now Witch Doctor is going to be probably the second support coming out for NYU. And now Lich, another support on App State. So it looks like there probably will be some dual lanes. I don't think Undying will solo in the off lane unless they decide to run him that way. What do you think the lanes are going to look like?
I think you're correct. I don't think we'll be seeing a dual lane because Lich kind of does need levels.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what I am. I'm excited for this Witch Doctor. We didn't see him in game one, and it's going to be interesting to see how he plays against the Earthshaker in the Lich. Very easy to cancel that Death Ward from
Oh
very
yeah.
far away. You have basically no committal for it, and I mean it's going to be very difficult for him to be able to get that ult off and the good ult at that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Death Prophet and Witch Doctor both, excuse me, both with their ultimates online deals a ton of damage. But like you said, Earthshaker is so good at canceling these channeled abilities. So it's gonna be probably a rough game for this Witch Doctor unless he can position himself perfectly.
I mean, also remember that the Lich ultimate has a stun at the beginning of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the mini stun. So if he decides to target the Witch Doctor first, yeah, that's another way of canceling it. So two easy ways of getting that cancel off. I have seen also the Aether Lens on Witch Doctor, so that's a possibility. It's so that he can do it from a safer distance.
Yeah, Aether Lens gets disgusting on Witch Doctor, but he doesn't even need that to have that unstable, that the paralyzing cask rather. just
Hmm.
bouncing all around the enemy. And if they get their positioning wrong, that can do basically ruin a team fight right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, especially if it hits the Earthshaker. I mean, him not being able to blink initiate is it would be bad, really, really bad for App State.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
So now they're coming up at about 15 seconds left of their drafting. They haven't selected anyone yet, and there's going to be the Juggernaut pick. So definitely what seems like a comfort pick for NYU. Just he's definitely a solid carry in this meta where hard carries aren't really that popular. Really, I've only seen Spectre, Juggernaut being the more popular picks, with Slark being a more niche pick.
You also have anti-mage. That's
Oh
in
yeah,
there
well,
too.
Anti-Mage has pretty much been a somewhat solid pick across all patches, I feel like.
True. You also have Morphling. That's another one.
Oh yeah, the Morphling. I totally forgot the Morphling. I'm surprised no one's deciding to play Morphling. I mean, the shotgun Morphling is back and it is stronger than ever.
I mean, it's pretty strong.
I I really enjoy it. I just love the click three buttons and easy deaths, and then he gets to just walk away.
Although it is a single target,
Hmm.
basically, outlook. So is it really a shotgun?
I mean, I guess what they mean with the shotgun is just like of how the high damage is. I guess you could consider it like a sniper, maybe like a some sort of long range rifle, but I like the sound of shotgun Morphling.
Shotgun Morphling, Sniper Morphling. I agree. We don't need any more ho ho ha ha in this game, but
Please don't bring me back to that. So now it is on App State. They're also coming up at about 15 seconds left of their reserve time. So both these teams taking a lot of time to figure out what they want to do with these drafts. Now 10 seconds, and it's going to be a Wind Ranger, probably going mid lane against Death Prophet. What do you think about that matchup, Wind Ranger versus Death Prophet?
Wind Ranger Death Prophet. I think the if the Wind Ranger hits the power shot, she definitely gets an advantage in the lane.
Hmm.
I think that yeah, she can stay far enough away from the Death Prophet that the life leech isn't a problem. And really, it's just a Crypt Swarm against a power shot. And Wind Ranger has a couple more tools in that matchup. I think definitely think it goes to the Wind Ranger there.
Hmm.
But we'll see how they play it.
Yeah, Wind Ranger also has to be pretty careful of the silence too. If Death Prophet picks up an early level in it, Tusk rolls in, Wind Ranger not able to win run out of it because of that silence. And now a Slark ban. So again, another respect ban against App State, not letting that Slark get through a second time.
The Slark was picked in the last phase in the first match, so maybe they're just making sure that they can't go with that Slark fifth. I mean, it's not a bad ban, and if they haven't picked it up yet, maybe that's just something they want to save for their last pick. They just want to save their carry for last.
Yeah, App State does tend to save their hard carry for the last pick. So good ban. Now Omni Knight is going to be the final ban of this draft phase. A pretty solid hero, I feel like, going
Yeah,
along
Omni
with
Knight's
NYU.
strong, and right now NYU, I guess App State could have like a diffusal carrier on your team with the Wind Ranger. Like she's not bad for diffusal,
Hmm.
but they other than that they don't have that many good like diffusals on their team. They don't have an Oracle, which is also good against the Omni Knight.
Oh yeah, very. Oh wow, and it's gonna be a lion. So now, what do you make of these lanes for NYU? Where are each of these heroes gonna go?
That's I mean you got the Tusk on the offlane, Death Prophet in mid, Juggernaut as carry, Witch Doctor and Lion helping out the Juggernaut, maybe TPing over to help the Tusk or the Death Prophet if needed, but it's pretty standard actually.
I see. I haven't seen a lot of Tusk off lane recently. I thought he would go support, but you're right. It looks like the Tusk will be going in off lane. Is there any possibility for dual lanes in either of these teams?
You could see it from App State. They were pretty content to leave Zaro alone early in the last match. It probably
Hmm.
won't happen with him on an anti-mage, but I mean, you never know. If he has a good start, they could probably just leave him alone and just go to like even the aggressive tri lane with the Undying.
I see. And with that, with the conclusion of the draft, we are now going to go into game two of App State versus NYU. This time, App State's going to be on the Dire side, I believe. Yeah, they were Dire last game too.
Yep.
So not changing much there. Looks like now Radiant going to be heading toward this bot rune. They're going to be committing all 5 heroes to do it. They really want to secure this for Death Prophet.
They also got the first blood at bottom last time, so just sticking to the things that work.
I see, makes sense. AM looks like so far he's gonna be solo for this top rune. No one really going to contest him so far. No one going to help him either. I feel like he definitely has potential to get a rune pretty easy if he takes that level 1 blink, which isn't a bad level.
Um, you do want to be careful because the anti-mage has a long cooldown on the level 1 blink.
Oh
So
yeah.
like if you use it and the other team can catch up to you, it can be really bad, and you do have to stand on top of that rune with the blink up to try to get the bounty rune. So yeah, it's not really something you want to blink onto either. So you do have to be careful.
A little bit of aggression coming out for Soul of Koji. Now it looks like the snowball is going to come in onto the Wind Ranger. She hasn't leveled anything up quite yet. The double stun is going to be there as well. Casks bouncing back and forth, and Lionfish Lover is going to draw first blood. The Tomb is going to be committed as well, and it's going to be an easy 125 going the way of the Lion. Definitely something that's really, really good for an early support. So Anti-Mage getting the top rune, Death Prophet getting the bottom rune.
Yeah,
And
I
like you
mean,
said, first blood.
yeah, first blood again at the bottom lane, and the snowball pretty much set that up. And not only that did they get the first blood, but you also had to feed them that first tombstone to the line. It's really a good
Yeah.
start here for NYU.
I feel like that was definitely a mistake from this Wind Ranger, not really responding fast enough to the snowball. If she would have leveled the Wind Run earlier, she maybe would have been able to get out with her life. But on top of that snowball with the perfect double stun coming out from both Lion and the Witch Doctor. So first blood going to the Juggernaut. And was it first blood for Juggernaut last game too?
Oh man,
I
that's
don't
me to remember
remember.
pretty far. I think it might have been.
I feel like it was. I feel like Juggernaut also got the first blood last game. So it looks like it is going to be dual lanes from both sides. Not a whole lot I feel like that Radiant can do against this anti-mage top lane. So far they are keeping him at a farm though, so that's pretty good. Taking a look
Yeah,
at
I
this mid
mean
lane.
the anti mage has the Earthshaker behind him, so if they were to go on to him, I mean he can just blink out, get the Earthshaker Fisherman behind, so he's not in too much trouble in this top lane. And I mean he only serves to win the harass matchups, taking away the mana from the Tusk, who really heavily depends on the mana early.
Oh yeah, especially. I mean, I feel like he only really has mana for one full combo, and then he's just about out. This mid lane still looks like it's just about tied, 4-2 for each side. This Juggernaut again getting practically free farm in this bot lane. Last game he also got free farm, but he wasn't able to do a whole lot with it. He only really got that early Battle Fury, but from there he kind of stagnated.
Yeah, he did really good early, got the Battle Fury, and that was about it. Because he didn't really have time. I mean, the Slark had too good of a start, and
Yeah.
once the Juggernaut gets behind against the Slark, you really have to get a couple more items up, like a Basher, Abyssal Blade.
Meanwhile, while we say that Snowball is going to be committed onto the Anti-Mage top lane. Anti-Mage trying to get a couple more right clicks. He's going to be able to finish off the Witch Doctor, and he's going to blink out. Maledict is still on him. I'm not sure if he'll... Yeah, he definitely won't tick off because of this. Earthshaker getting a couple right clicks on the Tusk, and that's going to be one free easy kill going the way of Zoro. I really feel like Zoro's a really good player. I mean, just the way that he positions, the way that he knows when to get aggressive and when not to. I feel like he's definitely just proficient at the game in general. So it's really entertaining to watch someone like him play.
Yeah, very good at like getting the farm up and exactly knowing when the aggression needs to stop and go onto other heroes. Like he's very in tune with the limitations of what he's doing.
Yeah, it's very, very entertaining Dota.
Also, in the last game, he was playing the Slark, and you really like you saw him get aggressive, but you didn't see him get over aggressive. He went deep for kills sometimes, but never too deep. He always knew like exactly where he needed to be with his hero.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what won him the game as well, being able to get pickoffs when most carries wouldn't really go for it. Lion and Juggernaut getting a lot of farm secured for their Juggernaut. That is going to be a stun coming out onto the Undying and just going to be a mana leak. I think this Lion might be putting a lot of levels into the mana leak just to be annoying. I mean, this Undying doesn't have enough mana for Tomb. I think that's going to be another stun coming out onto the Undying. And again, the mana leak, and he is now out of mana. So as annoying as a Lion can be, Earthshaker is going to rotate toward this mid lane. They do spot him out with the ward. And Death Prophet's going to kind of walk to the right. I feel like they should be able to tell by the fact that she's walking to the right that They do have a ward there. And unfortunately for the Death Prophet, she's going to miss the Arcane rune and just going to get the what I feel like is the worst rune in the game, Illusion.
It's not the worst. It's just very situational.
I think it's the worst out of the runes. Out of the runes that are there, I mean, I would rather get Bounty, I think.
I would get, yeah, I'd rather get Bounty Rune. Why wouldn't you? But
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
I
think
don't.
it's the worst rune in the game.
I think sometimes the Illusion Rune is the best rune in the game. It just depends on your lineup. So I guess you're sort of right. It really depends on what you're playing, if it's a good rune or not. And sometimes it can be used really well. But yeah, like you said, it's very situational.
3 heroes now in this bot lane. Maybe possibly trying to get some pressure, but they were able to spot out the Earthshaker as he came up the ramp. So both Radiant heroes are going to fall back, which is actually pretty good for this Earthshaker. I mean, he really hasn't committed a whole lot. He doesn't need gold that much. He doesn't need levels. And he's going to force back the Juggernaut from getting the free farm that he's been getting all game. Now Clarity pushing canceled mid lane, so Wind Ranger's going to have to rely on her bottle for a little bit.
Yeah, so they again leave Zoro alone on the top lane just to solo against the heroes, and they got him a good start, decide that they don't need to be there anymore, and then they just dominate the enemy's safe lane.
Indeed. Well, we will have to see how crazy this anti-mage is going to get, because, I mean, if he continues to get free farm, he's going to get out of control, and I don't feel like NYU has a lineup that can stop a fed anti-mage. But we do not know. More Maledict harassing onto the anti-mage. There are still three three dire heroes in this bot lane. They might want to try and make a move onto this Juggernaut. He does have spin up, so I don't think there's going to be any kill potential so far, and they're just going to back off for now. Earthshaker hiding in the trees, trying to get that perfect fissure. There's going to be a stun coming out onto this Lich. The spin is going to be there as well, and the slow is going to be enough as well. The tomb is going to be committed as well. Lion again getting the gold for it, but now there's going to be the shackle shot onto Juggernaut. He is pretty low. He does not have a spin available. Another stun come out onto this Earthshaker. It might be enough. He's running away with his life barely intact, and that's going to be the salve, and he's actually going to have enough health to get away. Another shackle shot is actually going to cancel the salve, but well played.
Yeah, they call that one a power shot around here.
Power shot, yeah, power shot. My bad, but well, I mean, it was pretty well played from Appstate. They had a good initiation, but Juggernaut just I had a little bit too much health. Exorcism is committed to try and take this tower mid, but only a little bit of damage coming out on it.
Yeah, Appstate actually were the ones that lost out there, because the Lich ended up dying at the beginning.
Oh,
Lion using pretty much all his spells on the Lich, and it allowed Appstate to kind of get back in there, but they weren't able to secure any kills off of it. So, unfortunately, they had the positioning, just not the means to be able to get the kills there.
Exorcism now going to go on a 100-second cooldown, so they're not going to be able to use that anytime soon to try and get early towers. Earthshaker's still kind of hanging around in this bot lane, trying to see if he can possibly get a pick off. I think it could possibly happen if a good fissure is landed. This Death Prophet doesn't have Exorcism and doesn't have a lot of mana, so I think it could be enough. A little bit of harassment coming out into this Juggernaut, who's still leading in the last hits charts. There's going to be an Earth Spike coming out on the Undying again, and now the spin's going to be there as well, the Hex as well onto the Undying. He should be able to die here, yeah, and he is going to die. So another Tomb, possibly going the way of the Lion. Nope, this time it's going to go toward the Juggernaut.
I think the Undying also had a mango eaten there for some reason. Full health.
Yeah.
I mean, no, full mana, no health, and unfortunately he dies with full mana, so...
he probably wish he had a Fairy Fire there. Keep him alive a little bit longer.
Maybe he hit the wrong thing, fat fingered it.
Fat finger, yeah, that's possible. Earthshaker is going to rotate down to this mid lane, but now it looks like there's going to be a stun onto this anti-mage. The bounces aren't there, but now the snowball is going to be committed as well. Ice Shards, not enough mana, so it looks like anti-mage will be able to get out with his life. So
very close there.
Yeah, it was possible. It was possible they were able to get that pick off, but the bounces of the cask weren't there and not enough mana to finish him off. There was also a smoke bot, I believe, by the Lion, so they might want to try and get aggressive either onto this mid lane or the anti-mage, excuse me. The mid lane or the anti-mage.
Puberty is wonderful, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate you.
Oh, man.
Anyways. This mid lane still going in favor of the Death Prophet, who's sitting at about 40 last hits. Still no Exorcism up. Actually, she does have Exorcism up, but not enough mana quite yet. Juggernaut down in the bot lane does have Omni Slash available if they want to try and get a pick off. Is there Finger available? There is Finger available. Now, the Fissure on the top lane, Witch Doctor, a couple more right clicks should be able to finish him off. The Blink coming off cooldown, one more right click is going to be able to finish him off. But now the Earth Spike is going to be there as well. Onto the Anti-Mage. Now possibly Tusk getting turned back upon. The Finger is going to be used as well as Anti-Mage's ult. Mana Break, I think it's called. I don't even remember
Yeah,
what it's
it's Mana
called.
Break.
Zoro. Mana Break. Zoro getting away with only 100 health. Actually, less than 100 health. He's thinking about possibly going back in as well. The stun, he already sees is committed, but the Hex is still available. He's kind of hanging around. Might trying to get aggressive. He did not see the Witch Doctor until now. So that's going to be the cue to back off.
Yeah, he was regenning back up with that. Be it as it may, Ring of Regen, and makes sense, right? And he was thinking about re-engaging there, and he could have possibly, if he did a little bit earlier. The Lion's control wasn't up yet, and he was a bit far up from his team, so he could have gone back in, but decided to regen back up a little bit more. So playing it
Yeah, it's
safe.
always better safe than sorry. And it looks like, however, he's just going to stay in his lane. So he's not going to back all the way, just kind of naturally regen with that ring. Juggernaut's still getting free farm down here in the spot lane. About 10 minutes. Actually, both carries and the mid lane are kind of behind in where they need to be for farm. I feel like the supports have been really, really active this game and kind of keeping the carries not having free farm as they wanted. Now in this mid lane, Wind Ranger is going to use the Wind Run to get out. Soul Siphon, able to slow her a little bit. A little bit of damage done onto her. She's going to drop to about 50, but down in this bot lane, Juggernaut's going to commit his... Actually, has not committed his Omni Slash quite yet. He's limping away. There's going to be the Earth Spike onto Lich. A couple more right clicks, and there's going to be the Omni Slash committed. It's going to deal quite a bit of damage to this Lich, but it's going to bounce to other minions, and he's going to get away with literally 5 health.
Yeah, he was
One
at
more
4
right
there.
click.
Yeah, so much utilization of the sucky suck here. You got the Death Prophet and the Lion going around.
The team of suck. Man, so a lot of missed attempts by App State to get this Juggernaut killed. And actually kind of vice versa too. NYU has not had an opportunity to completely finish off this anti-mage quite yet. I feel like a lot of that has been on this Tusk not having enough mana to completely finish someone off. But he's going to have that bottle now, so hopefully that solves his mana issues.
Yeah, and you can tell that NYU really liked the combination of the Lion or like a stun plus a Juggernaut. And then they used that in game 1, and now they're using it in game 2 without an Abaddon to try to stop them. So they didn't get too many kills early. I mean, the Undying and the Lich a little bit more difficult to go onto, but now they're kind of hitting their stride with more heroes rotate out of the lane.
Focus Fire is going to be committed for this mid lane, and I feel like they should go down. Juggernaut getting aggressive onto the Undying, but the Finger is going to be committed, and that's going to be a finished off Undying. This Lion, I feel like he's been such a huge factor in NYU picking up kills and keeping the Juggernaut alive. So he's been playing this hero really, really well.
Yeah, he's really on top of his cooldowns, just keeping his mana up. I like the build putting 3 levels into the mana drain and really using that control to help out around the map. And I mean, if that fails, you always got that Stinky Pinky to give. So
yeah, exactly. Stinky Pinky, I like that one.
he's almost at his Blink Dagger too, 1900 gold.
Wow. Yeah, and as soon as he has that, I feel like the anti-mage is a possible kill. I mean, with 3 stuns on their team and possibly the silence by Death Prophet, I definitely feel like anti-mage has a much harder game as soon as the Blink Dagger comes up offline. Tusk getting a little bit far out there. Anti-mage maybe looking to get a couple right clicks. He's going to go instead for the Witch Doctor, who's going to throw out the cask. It's not going to bounce, however. There's going to be the Walrus Punch onto anti-mage as well as a Snowball committed, but he's just going to blink away.
Yeah, the snowball snows. I mean, the punch rather slows down the anti-mage enough that he's not able to go for any additional kills there. And so the other thing is the cask didn't bounce to anyone other than the anti-mage. It's really just them trying to stay alive there.
Yeah. And luckily, all parties were able to stay alive, and it looks like now a DD Focus Fire Wind Ranger is going to take out this bottom lane. At least he should. Anti-Mage getting aggressive again. The Snowball and the Shards are committed as well. Earthshaker there for the save, and he's going to be able to blink out again. And I mean, a little bit more damage onto the Anti-Mage, and that would, again, like, I feel like that's the 3rd time that would have been an easy kill onto him if he didn't have help.
Take a
And
look
this,
at the stack. This
yeah,
is
this fat stack, anti-mage is gonna love it.
a fat stacks. Taking the creeps over. He's going to try to clear that, but I don't think the creeps are going to help him out too much in taking that out. And the other people on his team that can clear it, like a little bit on the Earthshaker. The Undying can help clear that stack. The power shot of the Wind Ranger can help.
Hmm.
The Anti-Mage needs a little bit more farm before he can go for that.
Yeah, and he definitely needs more health before he can even think about attempting that. I mean, even with his creeps right next to him, he still, excuse me, he still lost about 200 health. Again, Earth Spike onto the Undying, but it's just going to be a little bit of harass. So Juggernaut and Death Prophet still leading in as far as last hits and as far as net worth. Anti-Mage not exactly where he wants to be at 14 minutes. He definitely wants the Battle Fury done within the next 2 to 3 minutes. Juggernaut already has his complete. And now Radiant are actually going to spot out this stack so they know it is there.
Yeah, they can get a lot of gold from this.
If
And
they
and
commit some like ice shards, yeah.
yeah, Death Prophet nowhere close. I mean, it's them getting gold and it's denying a lot of gold to App State. So the
Mhm.
Tusk and the Witch Doctor not able to do as much here, and actually the Witch Doctor getting quite low. But
Now they're all sitting pretty low. And down in the bot lane, Juggernaut is able to get the solo pick onto the Lich. He's going to commit the Omni Slash to do it. But definitely worth. So now Death Prophet spotting out this stack, and that's practically the entire stack going the way of NYU. So Anti-Mage has not even been able to get like a single gold off that stack, and she's now gonna go in, and there's gonna be the silence as well. Soul Siphon coming out onto this Anti-Mage. Snowball, not quite used yet, but the Walrus Punch is gonna be committed. And I said Anti-Mage is gonna blink away with about 200 health. Meanwhile, down in this bot lane, the Snipe is gonna be directly on point. And Juggernaut's
oh
gonna die.
man, that range is so long, and ever since they
Yeah.
changed that, it's so easy to it's much easier to get kills as Wind Ranger, just kind of
Mhm.
acting like an assassinate really for her.
As we see now, the Blink Dagger is going to be completed by the Lion. Earthshaker maybe looking to come around here and get a pick. There's going to be the Shackle shot, and it's going to land onto the Lich. One more power shot, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, Wind Ranger really showing the use of the Force Staff early, just going up to get the shackle shot on the edge of those trees there.
How do you feel about the Force Staff? I mean, I've seen Wind Rangers, of course, rush that Aghanim Scepter. I've seen a couple of them go Maelstrom and even getting a Blink Dagger as opposed to the Force Staff. So, do you feel like the Force Staff was a good item here, or do you think other items might have been better?
I think it's good here. I mean, you can use the shackle shot to kind of combo with the force staff a little bit to put
Mhm.
yours in a less advantageous position if you want to do it that way. But really, with the lion and the tusk on the other team, the force staff can really help you screw up their initiation. So I think it's a good pickup here.
Exorcism is going to be committed as well, but now down in the back, it's going to be a Death Ward committed as well as the Echo Slam. Two heroes are dropping really, really low. It's going to be Earthshaker, the second casualty of war. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, or in the top lane, I'm sorry, Anti-Mage is going to commit his ult onto the Death Prophet. She's not really dropping that low. She doesn't have a lot of mana to her name. And it's going to be a 2 for 2. We saw the Wind Ranger try and invis her way around to the Death Prophet, but now Anti-Mage coming back. And again, the Yule Step is going to be committed as well as the Chain Frost. It's going to be able to pick up a kill, but nothing much off of that. But yeah, we saw the Wind Ranger trying to go around and get a pick onto the Death Prophet, but Exorcism was already in use, so she just got blown up.
Yeah, ice is pretty nice for Lich there with the chain frost, but just a little bit of focus on Omnia Slash, but pretty easy. A focus on what was happening at the back of that fight. The Wind Ranger came in with the invis and tried to go onto the Death Prophet, but Death Prophet already had the ult, and Windrun really can't help you against an exorcism. So
Not at all. There's going to be a Blink, Stun, and Hex all committed onto the Earthshaker. There's going to be the Finger as well as the Walrus Punch and Snowball are going to be committed for the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is going to drop now. Undying, dropping really, really low. The Soul Siphon able to finish it off. But now there's going to be a Yule Scepter and the Stun both committed onto this Lich, and Lich is going to die. And that's going to be a 3 for nil. Really, really well played by that Lion. That Blink Dagger coming in handy.
yeah, Lion. I mean, the finger in this fight really just forces the other team to have to react a little bit faster to their health going down. And the Tusk comboed nicely with the finger, just coming in with the snowball to make sure that the anti-mage stayed there to get the rest of the spells off for NYU. So, I mean, it's a nice utilization of the finger to just make it a little bit harder for the enemy team to predict exactly when their health is going to go down.
Yeah, exactly. The burst damage is insane, especially on a hero like Anti-Mage, who should be able to tank most of this, but not at this stage in the game. He does not have enough items quite yet.
You also have that spell shield, which
Mhm.
helps him a little bit against stuff like the finger or a snowball, ice shards.
But it unfortunately does not help him against Hex. So they were able to get a couple picks on him. He's still sitting at fourth in the net worth chart right now at 20 minutes. I don't know if he has Battle Fury yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not
I
sure.
think he
We'll have to
should be
see.
getting close.
At about 20 minutes, yeah, I feel like he should
Right now at 20 minutes,
practically
I
be
don't
there
know if
by
he has
now.
Battle Fury yet.
Death Prophet's exorcisms have been doing a lot as well. They
Yeah, I'm
have it
not.
up again, so they might want to push out this bot lane. So at the 20-minute mark, they're basically going to have two tier ones and a tier two. So we see the strong push. Are they going to even commit exorcism? No, they're just going to right click it down, it looks like. It's getting close to the deny range. There's going to be a stun, and the deny perfectly timed by the Earthshaker. However, now there's going to be a blink Earth Spike onto the Earthshaker. Not enough, but now there's 5 heroes for the Radiant. They're all kind of sitting around trying to look for a pick here. I don't think they've been spotted out quite yet. Tusk looking for that snowball opportunity. He's going to summon his little ice ward thingy. Maybe grant
Yeah.
him a little bit of vision.
They've got a couple of little things that are summoned here. It's the sigil and the healing word.
That shackle shot, I mean the shackle, that power shot almost taking out this witch doctor, but he should be able to lift her. He's actually not putting any levels into his healing voodoo restoration. What do you think about that? Do you feel like he should get at least one value level, or is he better just getting levels into stun?
I mean, if he keeps getting hit by the power shot, he might want to get a value level.
Earthshaker is going to drop here practically immediately. Now there's going to be the Omni Slash onto Lich. It's going to bounce over toward the Wind Ranger, and he's just going to spin out of that. The Chain Frost committed as well. Tusk dropping to sub 200 health thanks to that. But with the Exorcism and the Juggernaut, they should be able to take this tier 3. So that's going to be now 2 lanes almost cleared out for the side of Radiant. That push is pretty insane, having a Battle Fury on the Juggernaut and the Exorcism.
Yeah, I mean, items and spells are awesome, right?
Indeed. So it looks like indeed the Anti-Mage does have his Battle Fury complete. It's pretty late, sitting at 21 minutes. So now he's probably just going to want to AFK jungle. And like we said last game, he'll probably go for the, what was it, the Vladimir's offering, since he's pretty behind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So definitely the reverse of what we saw last game. Last game we saw App State, taking the early leads and crushing people with their hard carry. But it looks like this time App State's hard carry is kind of falling behind, not really getting the farm that he wanted.
Yeah, it's a very differently structured game. You have the Earthshaker that really needs a Blink Dagger. I mean, he does a lot to disrupt the fights, but it does take him a little bit longer than other heroes like a Sand King or, I mean, even the Lion in this match to get the Blink Dagger. So once he gets that, things will be a little bit better. I think it's just gonna be 1-1 fight, really, for App State. That'll get the Earthshaker to the Blink Dagger. But the Lich is also more of a passive hero. So right now you just have a bunch of heroes that aren't as aggressive as game one for App State.
And a lot of abilities committed for this Wind Ranger. They're going to commit the Death Ward, the Finger, and I guess a couple of silences. Now there's going to be a Snowball, trying to buy a little bit of time going in onto the Earthshaker. But now Tomb is committed as well. Earth Spike, going to stun out this Earthshaker. But now Chain Frost is going to be there as well. And again, Omni Slash used for this Lich kill. This poor Lich has just been getting destroyed by the Omni Slash. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, Anti-Mage is just going to back away after he gets to about half health. The Tomb is probably going to go down now. They really don't have a way to save it.
Yeah, easy money.
Yeah. I feel like the Tomb Gold has actually pretty much given Lion his early Blink Dagger. I think that was the number one like gold fund for his Blink Dagger were those Tomb kills.
Yeah, I mean, if Lion is Hillary Clinton, that tombstone is like a big corporation.
The politics, I like it. Those Tomb kills.
Yeah, I find I know something about politics. Nailed it.
The Exorcism is available, so NYU might possibly want to take this top lane tower. They have all 5 heroes here, or almost all 5. They have 4 heroes here. Power shot, gonna clear out the wave, and now exorcism is gonna come out. I feel like App State kind of have to back off of this. There's going to be the tomb and the fissure committed. They're going to start right-clicking down this tower, this tomb, however. There's going to be the double cast, and it's going to land on both of them perfectly. But now the Echo Slam is going to be there. That's going to finish off the Witch Doctor. Lion dropping pretty low himself. But that's about it. They're going to commit the tomb and the Echo Slam just for 2 heroes. The Silence onto 3 is going to be able to do a whole lot. Now a BKB committed on the Juggernaut. He doesn't have the Omni Slash quite yet, so he's going to rely purely on right clicks. There's going to be the Shackle Shot onto the Lion, but as well as the Hex onto Anti-Mage. He's going to be able to get away, hopefully. He has Blink available now. Instead, he's going to cancel it, looking if they can possibly get back. The BKB is going to be finished. There's going to be the Fissure, and as well as the Shackle Shot now onto the Death Prophet. Lion there with the save, and there's going to be a Hex on Anti-Mage. Man, this Lion doing work. There's going to be the ult, and oh man, the Death Prophet blows up, almost kills the Lion as well. A couple more right clicks should be able to finish him off. However, a double kill for the Lion, able to finish off the Earthshaker and the Undying. So double kills for both carries. And now it kind of seems like we're going back to last game where both carries are trading off double kills, triple kills, and etc.
Yeah, both teams very dependent on their carries doing well in these fights. I'm not too keen on the Juggernaut building the BKB here. I mean, you saw him activating that fight, and he just ran for the Anti-Mage. And he kept running, and he got nothing out of it.
Yeah, he got literally
maybe
nothing.
he should have gone for... I mean, even a Sanjay and Yash in this game could have been good and possibly done nearly the same thing as a BKB, which here I think is just trying to save you against the slowing effects of the other team.
So yeah, that's going to be the first BKB charge burned up by the Juggernaut. And like you said, for basically nothing. But now, I mean, we see the Anti-Mage, he's kind of starting to catch up. He's now in 2nd place in net worth, so that Battle Fury coming in handy. He now has the Vladimir's offering complete. What do you think he'll be going for next? He'll just be going like the basic Manta, or maybe he'll opt for something different?
Definitely a Manta against the Death Prophet.
Oh yeah, you're right. There is going to be a smoke, however, used by NYU. They might want to try and catch up this Undying. He's about to come into view. Death Prophet's going to be the one to finish him off. The Earth Spike's going to be there as well. Soul Siphon, probably going to be able to finish him off here, and it's going to be a pick. Or maybe not. Yep, there's going to be one more right click to be able to finish him off. Oh man, that Manta dodge.
Yeah, right?
For the Fissure. What a god. BKB is going to be popped as well. Omni Slash is not available quite yet. So again, another BKB charge committed just so he can run.
That's what it's for, right?
Evidently, I mean that's what this Juggernaut's using it for. I mean, if he really wants to run, he can get Yule's Scepter, he can get BOTs, he can get a lot of other things. He doesn't need BKB for it. But now Anti-Mage in this backline, they did see the blink animation and the particle effects, but he's just gonna get out. It looks like indeed he will be going for that Manta. He does have the ultimate orb complete.
Yeah, I mean, you could get Drum, Sanjay and Yasha, Boots of Travel. You'll be moving right fast, but I mean...
Yeah, you could get a whole lot of things if you want to run, but instead he's going to opt for that BKB. There's not going to be Exorcism committed for this Roshan attempt. It looks like Appstate does know what's going on. There's going to be a power shot just to kind of scout him out. They do have the Blink Dagger available, and they do see that the Earthshaker is setting up. They know that he really wants this Blink Echo Slam. Are we going to see a $6 million Echo Slam? Probably not. I mean, it looks like most of the heroes are kind of sitting outside of the Roche pit. Earthshaker is going to go in, but immediately Earth Spike and stun. There's going to be the Chain Frost going in onto 3 heroes. Anti-Mage now blinking in, but he's going to get Yulesed up, so he'll probably just blink out of it. Maybe you get a couple right clicks down onto this Tusk. Death Ward committed as well. But now it looks like this Undying is going to pay for trying to go back. He's even going to get hit by the Death Ward as well. That's a double kill now for the Death Prophet. So that's going to be an easy push. I feel like they could even possibly get racks. They're even drawing on the map, but they just want to go straight down mid and start getting some towers.
Yes, we saw the Manta dodge of the Fissure by the Juggernaut in mid, but you also see him use the Manta style to kind of take a lot of that damage off of the Chain Frost in the Roche pit. So a lot of the bounces aren't going to heroes, and now... Oh,
that's going to be a big pick onto the Wind Ranger as well. They use the Hex and the stun to be able to finish her off, and as well as the Finger. So Finger's going to be down for a little bit.
Finger and Omni Slash there.
I think it was probably worth it. I mean, they still have it's going to be a BKB committed and free right clicks onto this Earthshaker. Mantis style is going to be used as well. That's going to be a missed Earth Spike. I maybe the Earthshaker was lagging a little bit, or maybe he alt tabbed or something, but this is not going to be a
Maybe,
fissure.
yeah, maybe in Juggernaut's build or something, there's a specific time that he wants on his BKB.
Yeah, possibly. And that Echo Slam is going to completely whiff. It really doesn't hit anyone except for a couple damage. Anti-Mage getting right-clicked down. The Hex doing work. But now Juggernaut is going to try and focus down on this Undying instead. Anti-Mage could be going down here. One more tick. And no, he's going to actually salve himself, but it's not enough. He's going to go down to the Maledict tick. And that's going to be probably a Rax for the side of NYU. They really have no more defense for it. So what looked like a one-sided game last game on the side of App State this time is a one-sided game for the side of NYU. They are going to get the Hex and the Stun both onto this Wind Ranger. Soul Siphon not going to be enough, and the Silence is a little too late there. So now they're going to commit Exorcism for this bottom lane. So do you feel like NYU can come back from this?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little far for them. You have to
Yeah.
go up again. I mean, this line is pretty insane, doing so much with his skills here.
Yeah, Chain Frost is going to be committed as well as the Undying ult, but now instead he's going to turn around and right click the finger committed onto Undying. That's 2 kills now. Basically for free, Yule's used, and there's going to be the Omni Slash again committed for the Wind Ranger. That's going to be 4 heroes dead and probably another set of racks, and I feel like the GG call should be coming out any second now. Anti-Mage really can't do anything against this lineup.
He had buyback for that entire fight and decided not to use it. I mean, it would probably put him more further behind, but maybe if he bought back and tried to help his team out, they probably could have done a little bit more.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, you pretty much have to buy back. Like there's really no reason not to. And now this top lane is going to go down as well. And really, App State can't handle Mega Creeps right now. They're not equipped for it. It's going to be another Rax going down little by little. Undying and Earthshaker are just now coming up. There is potential that they could possibly fight here. I mean, but Roshan still has a minute 50 on it. There's going to be the Tomb and the Fissure committed as well. But Anti-Mage, again, in the back lane, is going to get focused as soon as he blinks in. So he had no chance to right-click any of the heroes. The buyback now coming up for Anti-Mage. Wind Ranger coming up in about 2 seconds. And that's going to be the GG call, just straight up. They're not going to even go for it. But, man, every time that Anti-Mage blinked in, line was instantaneous on his CC.
Yeah, I mean, they did enough pushing to make sure that the Anti-Mage never got into this match, and then the line got enough of a start to make sure that he never ended up getting back into it. So, I mean, that's one of the things you want to do against an Anti-Mage, just make sure that he never gets a good start, make sure that you keep him down and end the game before he can get big.
Indeed. So unfortunately for the Anti-Mage, only sitting at about 170 last hits in 31 minutes. It looks like this time NYU is going to be taking the victory. So exactly what I was hoping for out of this series, we're going to a game 3. It's going to be App State versus NYU coming up in just a second. Remember to all the viewers still tuned in, if you want to win that $100 Golden Huntling Courier, we need to get more people into this stream. Once we hit 100 people, someone's going to be winning that $100. So stay tuned, stick around. We're going to be going to game 3 in just a second.